Welcome to another ski area review. So today I'm going to do a little fun one. Big snow at American Dream. So this is an indoor ski venue. I believe it's the only one in the Americas. So you have to go pretty far to go to another one, either in China or Dubai or Europe. This is one of a kind, and it's right outside of New York City. So here it's located right here in the Meadowlands, right next to where the Jets and the Giants play. You can walk there and across the bridge from New York City or a tunnel, however you go. And then about close to 2 hours away, maybe an hour and 45 minutes away from Philadelphia. But people come from all over here. Seen people come from Colorado, Utah in the summer just to get any kind of skiing or snowboarding done. So let's talk a little bit about this. Here's a not much of a map. There's only this main slope here, switchback. And then you have a train park. Train park's awesome. It's just if you're a park person, you could do everything you want there and have a great time. And then there's only really one lift. There's a second tow bar, but it hardly ever, honestly, I've only seen it run maybe once, and I go there during the off season, right? When we're not skiing outdoors, I go there at least once a week, and I've honestly only seen it run maybe for a few minutes one time or so. So it's not a lot of it's generally not running. The slope here it's fine. It's fine. The biggest problem you'll have is that it gets really busy. So that's one of the things you got to remember about this indoor facility, since it's the only one of its kind. It does get busy. So the trick is to go when it's not busy. And I'm a early riser, and unfortunately, Big Snow doesn't really open till 1 p.m. except for on weekends when it opens like at 10 a.m. So we get there a little earlier on a weekend, but weekdays it's kind of tough to get there if you're an early bird. So my skiing changes to I'm a later skier during that time. It's located in the American Dream Mall, so there's ample parking. But because it's next to Meadowlands, you really need to plan when you go there. Plan out your trip, because you could if you go when there's an event at at the Meadowlands, you could be in for, a difficult time finding parking. So you just have to plan, think ahead when you go. I know I have people who go from that I know who go there who won't go if there's big traffic jams. So they're always looking for traffic jams driving into the area. I never really let that bother me. I just go anyway. Yeah, and I hit a lot of traffic, especially when I leave. If you're heading towards south or away from New York City, you can be in for some pretty nasty traffic when you leave. The tickets there last 2 hours, unless you, of course, get a season pass and you can stay as long as you want. So you're scanned constantly as you're going in to make sure that, to know what time you start and to know whether or not you've been there for 2 hours or not. And then if you have a multi pass, I'll talk about passes in a second, but if you have a multi pass, if you pass your 2 hours, you'll get charged for the other session automatically. One of the issues here is that there's a lot of snowboarders who are part of this. I don't know, there's this group of snowboarders that are really cool low riders, really good carvers, and they love going to Big Snow. And they make these huge, wide carving turns here. And you got to be careful if you're skiing down here to time your start, because otherwise you could run into them. And then because a lot of them don't seem to care if you're in their way. I've had that happen to me where I almost crashed. And even though I know some of the people, they're awesome people, but when they're on their boards, nah, you don't bother them. Down here, underneath this lift, this tow bar, or just if you weave your way around, it's a great place to practice short turns. And so that you'll see a lot of or slalom type terms. You'll see a lot of people doing that, especially as they get better, if they're better at skiing and snowboarding. Well, skiing in particular in this case. And notice this perfect slope here. This is something that we have at Blue Mountain where I work. We go have the same kind of train learning system that they have, which is great. So you have the perfect slope. This is where you teach people to actually start skiing. And then they have train-based learning here on the left, where Little Dipper is. It's just a great place to learn. Only one an issue I have with and something you got to be prepared for, especially during the summer. I mean, most people are going to go there during the summer, although I hear that they're actually busier during the winter because people are right next to New York City and they want to go skiing and hey, let's just practice today or something. I wouldn't go there during the winter just because I go to bigger mountains during the winter, but it gets really busy, especially when camps go there in the summer. So you have to be aware of that. There's a lot of these camps, local camps that'll send, up to 200 kids at one time into the venue, and it just makes it impossible. And most of those kids, first thing they do, like most kids would do, because they don't know any better, if they don't get guidance, they just go straight to the top, and then they just straight line down, or they just keep on falling all the way down here with doe eyes looking up at you like I didn't do anything wrong. I just don't know what I'm doing. I wish somebody would tell them, do not go up unless you are ready to go up. It's really dangerous in that sense. So if you're there when there's a giant crowd, you should maybe think twice before going, or or you can just just you're not going to be able to practice much. Speaking of practice, this is a great place to practice if you have something to work on. If you have nothing to work on, you'll probably be bored in, an hour or half an hour. I like to have things to work on. So, I'm a big carve user. So I get my carve on and I practice things and especially the short turns, a lot of things you can practice. Snow is nice in general, although one thing, just one word of caution is your skis will get dirty because the snow isn't natural. It's just recycled. Like I noticed that after I finish skiing there, I have to wipe down my skis now I get the cleaner and they always turn like the cleaner, the cloth turns black. And you just pick up the dirt. I don't know. It doesn't look like that, but you pick it up and you'll see it on your skis. So I do love going there, and I'm going to continue going there. I try my best to make sure that there's nobody, not going to be a lot of people there, but there's no way we can know in advance if camps come. What we can know though is if there is training prior to the opening. And that's a big deal too. Like for instance, we get these ski racing teams that come down from Vermont or New Hampshire or other places to train with kids. And then when they leave these massive divots in the snow or massive, like they're almost like valleys in the snow. And unfortunately, their coaches don't have them slip the course afterwards. So what they do is you'll go over there and you'll see these they're not even like moguls. So it's nothing fun that you can do. It's just like treacherous, dangerous. When I go and that happens, I'm like, oh, I just got to survive. However, you can see, you can see what's going on. And what I would do in that case is just look at let's see if I can find this big mountain snow cam, a webcam. You can go to their webcams. And let's see if I can find it. Oh, Big Mountain. Is that Big Snow? Big Snow webcam. You can see what's going on because you want to take a look early because usually when there's training, they'll be training early on. So like it's now 6:24 a.m. You see nobody's there, nothing's going on. So this is actually what it looks like, what Big Snow looks like. There's that learning area. It's a nice slope. It has some pitch to it for a beginner area. This will be divided. You'll have a fence, like a bee netting between the two. Here's where the train park is. It looks really good. And this is the area to the side where you can practice short turns. And during the end of the month, usually there's some moguls set up here, right over here, and people love those. I need to spend more time on those myself, but I usually don't like the way they look there. But they're done well. But let's go back to the training thing. So I like to watch this and see if there's any skiers, ski racers training. The thing is that I asked them at Big Snow, well, why don't you groom after the ski racers? Well, there's actually a reason for that because if they groom after the racers come in, there's not enough time for the snow to set, and you get like just really nasty conditions. You might as well bring your powder skis or whatever fat skis you have to ski there. I prefer to ski there with slalom skis, but when the conditions are bad, they're bad. But okay, so what else? Let's look at ticket prices. Ticket prices, access and packages. This might take me a moment to figure this all out. So one thing I would say is if you can, so there's some basic information. So let's see if we can find buying tickets. Best thing you can do is buy a multi-pass. Let's see, slope access. Maybe that's it. Yeah, slope access. You buy a multi-day pass. So this is your prototypical pass. This is just to go skiing there for 2 hours. It's $70. So it's not cheap, right? What you want to get is one of these six packs. And what you really want to do is wait till there's a holiday. Like any holiday comes up and be on their mailing list because when the holidays come up, you'll get a great discount on this price. I mean, it could be like $99 for six. And that's the only way I go. I won't buy these $249 six packs. I wait for the $99 ones. I one time there was a 10 pass for like it was not 99, maybe it was 129 or something like that. It was amazing. So l look for those. It'll save you a lot of money if you can get that rather than paying, the heck, if it's $99, it's only 30 more bucks than this one. So, even if you go twice, you've saved money. But otherwise than that, you'd have to get you buy one of these $69 if you just want to try it out. You, the rentals, there are packages that include rentals. Let's see. Access and packages, slope access, snow, I think it's snow day packages. They do include rentals. They have a nice rental shop and everything. Yeah, so here it is. Single snow day rental package includes rental and equipment. So $109. It's 40 bucks more. And you can get the three visit package. Again, it's not, I tell you, just do as I tell you and you'll do well. They also have these snow bikes if you're interested in those. Those things scare me. I've seen them because people don't, it's just another thing to put on this tiny slope here where you already have very little room to have like bicycles and everything else going down here. But let's see anything else. Parking, you park in lot A. Park in lot A. That's the one. If you want to be correct, go to the second floor on lot A. Look for lot A, go to the second floor because you'd be right outside of where Big Snow is. Okay, and that's the way to enter. Anywhere else, you're gonna have to walk quite a bit. So it's not, you just, plan ahead and be smart. So should you visit Big Snow? Absolutely. Have fun. It's a pleasure. If you can go on a weekday during the school year, oh man, that's when it's best. That's when it's absolutely best because you'll have nobody there. Once schools are out or any holiday where schools are out, it gets really busy. Definitely worth it. You can just modify your goals and expectations and you'll have a good time. All right. Thank you very much for listening and subscribe to my channel to get more good stuff.